Hello, everyone. So this past week was a little slow on spinning records because I had my doctoral thesis presentation on Friday, which marks the end of my academic life for the foreseeable future, which is great. Um, but I didn't have sort of the the time nor the headspace really to listen to a lot of things. But I'm going to share with you some highlights of what I ended up being able to listen to during the week. And the first one is this really cool record by Teta van der Loch and Boy Rijmakers with Noel McGee on drums, Robert Schuller on bass, and Berton Green on piano, called At Different Times, released in '71. It's great, sort of Dutch free jazz record. Van der Loch works primarily as a sculptor. Actually, doesn't have like a huge discography, but he and Rijmakers were part of the sort of a group called the Free Music Quartet and also the Free Music Quintet. And they released a pretty cool LP, pretty cool EP in '69 called Zand, and a pretty cool record in '68 on ESP, which is really worth checking out. And following the sort of a free improvised music, is Calling Down the Flevo Spirit by Kees Hazevoet and Han Benink. I guess Hazevoet only has like a couple of records to his name. This one and another one called Pleasure One from '71. This is from '78. But he has some interesting credits throughout the '70s. You know, he played on Candy Clouds by Hans Doffer and Hitro Natural in '76. And also in a pretty cool record, playing alongside Ben Ink also, called Unlawful Noise, which has a pretty heavy lineup with Peter Brotzman, William Oholo, and Johnny Diani. And this one, I would say it is a sort of a record of extremes. You know, it it starts with this high energy, pretty aggressive attack on piano and really explosive percussion and drums, but it gives way into more quieter, more subtle, but not less intense and not less tense. Also, sort of sonic explorations through different instruments. You know, besides of course drums and percussion, Benink also plays banjo, violin, flute, and other effects on this. Well, this is a pretty cool record. Continuing that path of improvised, free improvised music, this record here called Noise by Charles Farrell, Chaim Chaparral, Michael Henderson, Ken Steiner. This is another one from the '70s. This is from '75. Pretty cool, pretty intense also. I haven't seen this one being mentioned on the VC before, so I thought it would be interesting to share this with you. It also features like a another like great improviser that had a side career, which is Charles Farrow, who notoriously worked in with boxing, and like Kiz Hazebwet, he quit music in the 80s to work full time, I guess, as a ornithologist. And Van der Loog, as I mentioned, is a sculptor. So that's that. Continuing to venture into sort of free, improvised sounds, but this time with a very different mood. Wow, by Jack Yo Motherfucker. This is a 99 release on Fisheye. It features 2 tracks, mostly improvised, and has a pretty cool balance between sort of the more fleeting, free-form sounds, but it's it's also pretty anchored overall. It's not completely dispersed, and you can definitely sort of hear some Eastern inflections there, which are pretty cool. And this sort of lead me to one of my favorite Jack Hill Motherfucker records, Figure 5. This was originally released in the year 2000, but only on CD, and later was reissued on vinyl, in this UK edition by Fire Records in 2011. And one of the things that I love about the sort of these longer Jack Hill Motherfucker records, this is a double double album, is their sort of sense of time. And by that I don't mean sort of in the sense of like the rhythm, but in the overall sort of mood of the record. This is a this is not like morose by any means, it's but it's not rushed either. You sense that musical ideas have time to grow, to shift, to mutate. And I really love the relation between the sort of strictly instrumental tracks on the one hand, and how songs emerge after you've been through some of the more abstract and free instrumental explorations. For instance, when the human voice is first heard in Go Down, Old Hannon, it's such a beautiful, haunting, moving moment. You know, really love this one. And last but not least, this Who record it's cozy inside. Um, this is a great record. It's pure magic. I felt like listening to this after watching Clive Ives' interview on Seeking a Thread, and there's which is a great interview, and there's something that Don says about how difficult it is, or just impossible really, to choose or to pick a favorite Wu record, because they have such strong, such a solid discography, and but this one is special to me. It holds sort of a special place in my heart because it was the first. Like, it was a record that introduced me to Wu's music, and I was in college, so it was like more than 10 years ago. I don't really recall like where exactly, what corner of the internet that it was introduced to them, but yeah, this, it really fascinated me back then, and still does to this day. As I said, this is like pure magic to me. So that's it.